Okay, run down that number. See if you can find out who bought it and from where. I've got the boys digging into Ford's life. Castle, you still there?
You set? Background, start right there.
When you're creating a TV show, you're trying to create a world that feels realistic. And part of that is filling out that world beyond your main actors. So every show needs background artists to give a sense of reality.
BG is obvious only by its absence. So trying to be anonymous, but at the same time being a part of the production of
You look at any scene in a movie or a TV show and imagine that there wasn't anything going on in the background. It would look kind of odd. We bring the energy to the scene and make it seem real and alive.
Because they've been with us for so long, they've become part of the Castle family.
And cut. Background's good. All right. One more time.
Mondays are usually the toughest days because there's always a 7 a.m. call time.
Good morning.
First thing we have to do is go to wardrobe, check in, get our voucher. It's like a time card. And then we get our uniforms. So Artemio has our stuff ready for us, and then we get dressed.
When we get booked, they'll tell us make sure you have wardrobes for like episode 719 and episode 720. We check in. The important thing is that we don't conflict with the principals.
One of our prop masters, he is very good about trusting us to get our own badges. He leaves it out on his prop table, and since we've all been here so long, we know exactly what to do. It's a nice rhythm.
L.T. Tolliver, look at that. 9161.
Shay Harrison. Look at that.
We get some breakfast while they're doing rehearsal, and pretty much within 45 minutes to an hour, the camera's rolling.
We need to figure out who Sid was on the phone with.
Easier said than done. I got Sid's phone dumped. That 9 p.m. call was from an untraceable burner phone.
When we come in, they give us a call sheet. They put the call sheet on the door. That way we know when to change, because we change scenes, so we know we need to change colors. There's a list of all of us here, and then this is like the next day. First thing new people do when they come is like, how long is today gonna be? It's like, well, look at the call sheet. Nathan, he's going to be in, he's #1. Now, we're finishing up the last episode, and then we're going to start a new episode.
A 12-hour day is typical here. So we've moved into the morgue because you're going to have some time in between, and you could literally just go crazy.
Hey guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When we come in the morning, our chairs are already set up. Usually that's like the first person in because we all have our little spots.
They hook us up with electric, like we all have our stuff plugged in, and we all have a little box in each corner of the room.
We're about to start a typical debate here.
That's our trailer, so to speak. So when actors maybe go back to their dressing room or something, that's our dressing room.
Wait a minute, what are you doing here? What are you guys doing in here?
Oh, this is where the good Wi-Fi is, so I had some work to do.
I know, but you got your own.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
sorry.
man.
Sorry.
Kick rocks.
Yeah.
You got your trailer.
And we're set.
All right, quiet, please. Action.
It's a pretty fluid day. A full day in the bullpen will have 3 or 4 scenes.
You can grab something and come back out so that there's 2 crosses. Let's see how that works.
The second AD usually places us and then tells us when to go and our position in a certain part of the precinct.
We all play off of each other, so it's like remembering a line, you just play off of them.
I checked the manifest. She's on the plane.
I started doing background when I first came out to LA, so I know what that's like, and they're timed basically when to come in and out, and it looks like a real precinct.
Being that we're dealing with the principals, in this particular case, John, all right.
How you doing, John?
I'm just doing a background cross.
It's almost like a football play because we'll decide, well, we're going to go over here, one person will go over there. We have a lot of freedom because they trust us.
We have the same regulars, which may be 14 to 16 or 17, and that's a core group.
We have had the same folks since the beginning. It helps us create familiarity and some sense of permanence in the precinct through the background artist.
3XK, the triple killer, so named because he kills his victims in groups of 3.
And because we're regulars on the show, we know our way around the precinct, we're comfortable there, we know the actors, and there's not a lot of running into each other.
What can I do?
You could watch.
2 weeks ago, I saved your life twice.
Because of the size of the bullpen and the way the show is shot, they divided the bullpen up into north and south.
In the precinct, we have sometimes several background regulars who work there. So we break them up into 3 different categories. The north, background regulars who work one end, and the south, who work the other. Then we also have our uniforms, and they can go anywhere on set.
When they're shooting south, the cameras are usually midway in the bullpen, and they're doing the coverage of Stana's desk, so the south end people are covered.
Please tell me you don't believe that guy.
Oh, no, but you gotta admit, it's a great story.
Then when they turn around, you then see the north end. So then you have all the north end people at their desk.
Jackie and Paul?
Yes.
When they come in to the morgue, they'll say north end. The south end, yeah, north end, your time to go in, your time to go in. And there's kind of the rivalry where we go back and forth. And it's fun.
Well, I wouldn't say there's a rivalry. It's more who gets more camera time or what side plays more.
Off your hands, thank you very much. And you're in for 50. Excellent.
Son of a... Nobody move!
They're very nice and very friendly, but also professional. They work really flawlessly with the lead actors.
You know what? Park that in the conference room. Thank you.
There are moments like we do have to interact again with the principal, where you're not necessarily speaking, but you have that body language that you have to use in order to make that scene happen.
The cast just go with the flow. If Nathan bumps into you, oh, sorry, Jan, sorry, Sly, within the scene, excuse me, and just keeps going.
There'll be instances where we'll be walking by and he'll give you the motion to high five.
So he'll come to my desk and say, do something.
Yeah, you know.
So I'll pick up the phone.
You are lame! Lame!
They're very approachable, very kind, great sense of humor.
Seamus and John are just hilarious.
Oh!
They have their own mannerisms, their own characters, and they are very, very quick to include you into the scene.
I've done with Nathan the bit with the baby. They find a baby in a church.
Ruggedly handsome dad.
Okay, fine, go.
Hey, buddy, let's go. Don't look at her. Come on, we'll get ice cream.
And I do a bit with him. I'm carrying a bunch of stuff, coming through the elevator, and it's kind of funny.
Some of the better points are just part of the plot. For instance, when Nathan's in essence framed and we're there in his apartment and he sees these familiar faces come in and we're grim. It's just the looks.
We call them by their first names in the show. It helps us create more credibility within the scenes themselves.
Thanks, LT. Thanks, Di.
Bruce. In season 1, I actually had, I don't think we had carry that badge anymore, that nameplate. It had Scott on there.
Nice work, Scott.
And then like 2 days later, I'm LT.
LT, follow us a minute.
Make it fast.
They actually do audition, a lot of us, and for parts. So a lot of the cops, we've had both of these guys have had speaking parts. Here you go, Beckett.
Thanks, Johnson. It's Johnson, isn't it?
It's Velasquez.
It's really great that they let us have a shot at it.
Customs Agent Weiser's on the phone for Detective Esposito.
I've had a couple speaking parts, so I've been Officer Jenkins on the show as well.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much.
Esposito said you'd have something for him.
I got a speaking part in season 6 to actually go home and see it, then see your fellow actors with you. It's a really good feeling.
Sir, is it true?
We don't know.
First episode, season 3, Nathan, he's luring me with coffee and donuts.
Hey, Castle. Back on the beat.
Yeah, looking that way. Is Beckett here?
Finished her sweep about an hour ago.
She find anything?
Nothing useful.
Mind if I take a look around?
I get recognized as being LT on Castle. For me, I'm like, great. That means you're watching the show. And it's just absolutely been a joy.
Well, Looky Lou said she recognized him from the neighborhood, gave his input at Officer Hujima Face over there.
Hujima Face?
Nice to see you making an effort to bond with the rank and file, Perlmutter.
Location is completely different. It's a whole different ballgame. It almost feels like the real deal, if you will. You're on location.
Besides, for a mystery novelist, aren't seedy motels kind of the standard?
Things just take longer on location. How do you speed that up? If you've got your gang from the bullpen, they're all going to know how to work a crime scene. Then the difference is they're complementing the foreground, they're complementing the principal actors, they're making it feel like you're in an active, authentic crime scene. What looks or feels real to the audience, that just happens with them.
Case closed.
The scene we're shooting today, where Richard Castle is getting his Career Achievement Award, it just made sense that all these people that Richard Castle has been spending his time with in the precinct would be here for it. So it was really wonderful for us for this particular scene to be able to take these people who have spent so much time in the precinct and be able to get them to a brand new location and see them in their fancy clothes.
To my friends at the 12th Precinct, you let me in.
I can't imagine doing any of these scenes without them. They are an extension, as far as I'm concerned, of us. You can't say Castle and not mention them as part of the cast.
And the funny thing is, today, we're background artists.
You'll get to see Terry and I at one of the tables with the writers of Castle.
Assuming that we don't get cut out when we're in editorial.
No, we would be the ones who would cut ourselves out.
That's true.
Is because of you. Because of us. Always.
Okay, second team rehearsing. Watching, please. Yes, sir.
Stand-ins are also part of the Castle family. And what a stand-in is somebody who will stand there on the actor's marks so the lights can be adjusted so everything's ready for the actor when they come on.
Ready for the cast, please?
I'm just making sure it's still there.
Stand-ins allow the actors to go off and get in costume and makeup, and they help speed us through the day. The cameras are able to be placed, and the stand-ins will walk through the entire scene so that the director can tell how far it is for Steina and Nathan, for example, to walk before they enter a door.
Oh, come on forward. Come on. That's nice.
I can't control that.
But you were flirting right back.
Sometimes they'll have us run through the dialogue to set up pace, setting up marks, and just making sure angles are all appropriate for when the actors come in.
I want you all to go up. We're all going to follow Beckett and Castle out the door. Ready and go.
Kerry Johnson, what is your job here at Castle?
I stand in for Nathan Philly. After you rehearse the scene, I come in so that when you come back, you can give America what it wants.
We are with Richie and Mario. They are the stand-ins that John and I have had the pleasure to work with all of these years. The last two are in tech room, so
this one leads into
they're
there.
kind
Is that
of
why you call
contained.
it?
They bring the actors, such as you two, onto set. We have sides, which are small versions of the script. That is a set of sides right there. And we follow along as these guys do a nice rehearsal, and then we go through those same motions. And
The mise en scene. You follow the mise en scene, and you have to match.
It's pretty important. I let her know if marks have changed, which happens a lot on the show. So I give her a heads up about that. Eye lines are also very important. That's one thing that I make sure that she knows about.
I ran the print and got a hit off the DHS and FBI databases.
All day long, I'm just waiting for when they need me, and a lot of times, you know, it's just a whisper. So really, I spend the day listening. That's my #1 responsibility.
So guys, everybody, move one.
If you look past the cameras, through the glass doors of offices or interview rooms, you'll see Kerry kind of leaning over a chessboard or solving the Rubik's Cube. I see that a lot. Anything that you would like the people at home to know about the day-to-day of Castle?
They should know that it's really a great place to be. If you got to be someplace 12 hours a day, this is not a bad place to be.
I agree. Well said.
Seamus and I have, always enjoyed you guys being our stand-ins and being our friends.
You look out for me. It's awesome.
We thank you guys for all the great time we've had together, and hopefully there's going to be more.
We become a family in there. I mean, over the course of 7 years, 14 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 9 months a year, having a group that works well together. I mean, then you put out a better product too. You don't feel like you're coming to work. You're going to hang out for the day with your friends.
A lot of people say, you gotta quit doing BG if you're gonna do anything else, but it's really, where could you get a class every day and get a check for it?
It's really a cool job. We like to think of them as just the non-speaking roles. They're literally and figuratively the cast behind the cast.
You know what I love the most about this job is just living the dream. I'm from Wisconsin. I moved here 8 years ago, and there's nothing I've ever wanted to do besides this, and I get to come to work every day and do it.
It's pretty amazing when sometimes we watch TV and then all of a sudden you're there. It's, oh my God, they kept that shot.
I like the fact that everything means something. From what's on the desk to what's on the wall to what that person has in their hand. It all means something. And it all comes together just for Monday night.